Oh, yeah, that's right. I stopped examining the dead body in order to go eat. So now I need to go back to examining the dead body. Ooh, that's just great.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. On his chest, a fading web of tattoos. The cargo belt used to hang him from the tree looks reinforced.
Inspect
The
the belt.
hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under six-rotor airships.
Wow. Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently, this is the reinforced kind for air transport. My brain tells me so. Then again, what do I know? I don't even know what an airship is.
The local harbor uses six rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
Assuming the dock workers from the harbor did it, they sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring. Well, that's why he's still up there, though honestly, I'm kind of surprised the body survived a full week out. Oh, you can see the little fly buzzing around him. That's lovely. How did they even get them up there? Back off and look at the corpse. Assuming.
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes, motivated by the ongoing strike. You?
He politely raised his eyebrow. Makes sense. Believably mundane.
70% of the cases I get are just filling in the blanks on the initial report. This belt worries me.
They sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
We do have the wire cutters. How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
He points to the buckle tying the belt to the branch above. I don't actually know how, like, the mechanics of setting up a noose, but if you say so. Oh, I guess it makes sense because the weight would make it harder to untie it because the weight's holding it down. Did they climb up using the kid's ladder? Point to the one at the side of the tree.
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
He makes a pulling motion. Okay, that makes sense.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Inspect the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Is this a map of the night sky? Is this a microelectric system? Is this a national pattern? Stars. Lines with stars toward the meat. Microelectric system?
I have only a cursive knowledge of the science of cybernetics. I would not know if it were. But it's not quite complex enough, is it?
True.
It doesn't seem familiar from the insides of any radio computer your mind can imagine. The somewhat organic lines remind you of old filament memory units, but not quite. No, you're nowhere near right.
Lines crossing, forming asterisks. It almost reminds me of like the idea of like ley lines, and then like where they cross are like points of power or something. Roads, and they cross at major cities. Because they're somewhat organic, so like maybe could it be a map? Missing something.
So am I.
A sudden ringing fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket. Ooh, that's something there.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
He has a camera. That's cool. Maybe we can send it to a tattoo expert or something? What's that?
A Trigger Sunshine. Mini.
That didn't help at all.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
Oh, I forgot about them.
An instant color camera.
He produces two metal-capped ampoules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting. Then,
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
cool.
In case we need it.
The lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes. It is pretty cool, isn't it?
He slides the camera closed and tucks it away on his belt. Probably really useful for police work too, because I'm guessing these aren't, I'm guessing cameras aren't super common, just based on the general situation. So they might not be standard issues for police officers yet. So having one is for this sort of situation is probably really useful.
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
What else are we gonna need to take a picture of? What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes. I can't. Oh, at this point I have 2 skill points I can spend on something. I don't know what is important though. I should spend them on.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
Ew.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Interact. Lieutenant Kitsuragi snapped this photo of the hangman's tattoos. It displays the intricate web of blue lines stretching across his torso. You have to admit, it looks quite cool. Oh, yeah. It almost looks like a picture of a city or something.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. On his chest, a fading web of tattoos. The cargo belt used to hang him from the tree looks reinforced.
Look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Tell me, who are you, dead man?
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, is it starting to rain? It was just snowing, wasn't it? Not
Who is
raining.
he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
I don't think that's what main character dude
The
was hoping to
corpse
get.
looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark.
Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink.
Green.
This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Oh, cool. Observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink. Eyes too.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
Very vivid descriptions here.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead. I think he was upright after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored. Cover your nose. Something is coming out of him. He's beaten up. See the bruises. I think he was upright after death.
Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Yeah. Yep, seems like a lynching to me. Could it still be he was moved after death? Maybe he was strangled by someone? Could it still be he was moved after death?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Thank you.
Totally dead.
Yep. World no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago. No, better not to say that. Too heavy? Totally. This Buster's not coming back. Deadly, dead. What is dead, anyway? The world no longer stores his personality within its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago.
That sounds about right, yes.
Nods in agreement with this advanced piece of conceptualization, having mulled it over, the lieutenant says. Cover your nose, something is coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
Wait, it's still dripping? That 7 days, I feel like most of what was gonna drip probably already dripped.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
I'm glad you can determine that.
The fuck are you saying?
For once, Kuno, you're not completely wrong.
Talking about shit.
We got lucky. Maybe he went to the toilet sometime before death. Maybe he went to the toilet sometime before death.
Maybe.
He doesn't really want to dwell on it too long. That's fair. He's beaten up. See the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Yeah.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
That one wasn't that hard to figure out.
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
Okay, so Kuno is the smarter one of the two. Back off and catch your
But
breath.
there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So, how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Step back and have another look for
The
him.
cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Okay, Inland Empire. Any other items that can boost that? Okay, it's just the horrific note tie. Let's stick a weight in it.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. On his chest, a fading web of tattoos. The cargo belt used to hang him from the tree looks reinforced.
Tell me, who are you, dead man?
I'm gone.
Oh, he talks. Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
His voice is something. Where's that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
I can see you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
There's nothing funny about you.
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Coppo.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your...
Black, frothy liquid starts bubbling on his lips.
imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up, Copper Rooney. This is getting upbeat now.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
I do strike myself as a Rooney.
No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Harry? Like Harry Dresden? I guess that works. Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Oh, that was quicker than it normally is. Who killed you?
Love did me in, Brother Copo. It was love all along.
Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
What?
Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
I don't have anything else to do. This case is all I have. Because he told me to, nod toward Kim. Maybe this will lead to something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous. The clown lips on the corpse appear to smile. The face rotates before you slowly.
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands. The cold spring air smoothing them over.
I hate you. You stink and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
Yourself? Well, myself? Main character, protagonist? Should you call him Harry?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
Baby expected with harlequinism.
You sure wriggled out of that one? Coppellini. Do I remind...
A child born with Muller's disease.
No, not quite. Sure I do. You just don't want to admit it. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
The voiceover is different than what it said. You can come back and look into this face anytime you want. View me yourself with my harlequin features. Ask me your little questions. Freshen your memory. Create associations. Remind yourself of your mortality. Lopo?
Of course. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
That's great. Okay, so let's do a little bit more talking before we take him down, just in case there's anything else we need.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I want to discuss the body with you again,
The
Kuno.
fuck about it?
Where's the rest of his armor?
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor.
How come?
Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
A mutant?
Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
What do you mean you threw it away?
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big.
He performs a kickoff on the imaginary helmet.
Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno.
You threw it in the sea?
Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate.
What do you mean, troubadour?
Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit. Came around pretending like he cares about cows.
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
You mean Manana? Call me Manana. What's his name?
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
And you're just telling me this out of the kindness of your heart, Kuno.
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you two loser pigs. Kuno's doing pity now.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
There are contusions all over his body. Did you do that? A, yes, he obviously did. He's doing it, like, as you're watching him. B, you really think Kuno knows what a contusion is? Let's ask.
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting.
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
I hate words too. A contusion is a bruise. I'm talking about the marks your stones left on the corpse.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here.
You hear the lieutenant hum.
You're testing Kuno's patience.
Get lost,
I have more questions about the crime scene.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it?
The ladder, ever climb it? Point to the ladder on the tree.
Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed.
So you would say the ladder is unclimbable?
Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno. Don't climb it, Kuno.
What's in the greenhouse over there?
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
Is that another slur? Or what?
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
Always helpful when the encyclopedia pops in to go, yep, that is a slur. Hold on, the gardener used to work there?
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno.
He fills his lungs with a rancid air. His eyes get a little watery. You mean the young woman by whirling in rags, that gardener?
Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
He looks you in the eye and nods as if agreeing with himself.
Yeah, her. What was she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of gardening is done in March?
I mean, isn't part of the point of the greenhouse is that you can do it all year round? I mean, that's how it works in Stardew Valley.
Fish is sometimes used to fertilize the soil a few weeks before planting something. Maybe she was preparing the garden beds.
I should ask her about that.
Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
Well, and it's a task, and I like tasks. I get experience, and then I can level up then. I was wondering about that trash container.
Don't be wondering about Kuno's shit, pig.
Someone might have stashed something in there. Maybe there's even a lead.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Why the fuck are you telling this shit to Kuno?
Because there's an option. Kuno, there's a stack of Eternite back there. Point to the shack.
That's just some shit roofing gimps left behind, lazy dinks.
He's hiding something.
Are you hiding something?
Pig, if Kuno was hiding something, It would be hidden.
He says with exaggerated confidence.
But it is not hidden, is it, sire? You picked up on it. You should examine the pile of roofing material again.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give. Kuno doesn't.
Let's go check out this stuff before we can change it.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Drama said take another look.
Because it's nice and orderly. Well, rhythmic pattern.
I might... stick another point in perception just to... Perception's probably a good thing to
An
like,
inconspicuous
notice
pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because it's nice and rhythmic pattern.
Okay, fine then. Fine. We're just gonna leave then. Okay. Next step is I want to get into the garbage. So I can either use the pry bar or I can go talk to the cafeteria manager. So I'm gonna go talk to the cafeteria manager, try to get the keys, and maybe also like get any more information maybe. Oh yeah, and I've collected some things, so I need to... Oh my goodness. First thought was Sans Undertale. Jacket and bald head and what money you know.
The worker is in a deep slumber.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
You sweetie.
Why, you are, officer.
I'm no sweetie, look at me.
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
At least somebody likes protagonist guy. Thanks, I appreciate it.
You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself.
She slaps herself on the forehead.
I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
Her eyes glitter over the rims of her glasses as she looks up, smiling. You seem to be in a chair. How do you like to roll with me? I don't know if you noticed, but I don't know where I am or what I'm doing or anything. Sweeties needs money. Do sweeties get money?
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
I hope you're right. I hope it's not too bad.
You know where we are, right?
We're dead, haunting each other. We're ghosts. A war zone at the edge of the world. The
That's
Rolling
right.
Rags.
And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located?
In hell, we're all in hell.
We're in the city of Revshol, dear.
She flashes you a worried look. Okay, I won't. Revshol is the disgraced capital of the world. Something like that?
Yes, great. See? We're getting somewhere. What else do you know about our city of splendor? Tattered as she may be.
Honestly, I don't know diddly squat about Revshol. What kind of place is this?
How would I even begin to tell you? Revshol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I.
I like her.
I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revshol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days.
There's a pause as she studies your expression. You must look quite lost.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
It's the spring of 51.
That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
Ooh, got a pen.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you then, but now she relaxes her shoulders.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Some kind of democracy, maybe? I'd like to think it's the dictatorship of the proletariat, but something tells me it's not. Our leaders are fierce warriors who traverse this plains and steeds. Civilization cowers before us. We're governed by intelligent machines that perform calculations to determine the freest market. Everyone hustles and grinds like a visionary. Radios are being used to control people's minds and distort our perception of reality, concealing our true masters, foreigners and women. Cop. We're living under the cop regime. It sounded like the, okay, so it was a monarchy, and then it was taken over by communists, and then outside powers came in and took over and put in place the emergency acts, which are the octopus things. They also give the cops the power, but we're controlled by outside forces, I think. Some kind of democracy, maybe?
Nope. Sadly not. Revachol is what's called a zone of control, under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is market-driven.
Okay, that's what I was pretty sure was going on.
Meaning, buying is voting.
If there's no government, how come there are cops? Because of the Emergency Act that put the cops in place?
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution.
But the RCM, these guys are cops.
But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
So how did I do?
You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Remembering reality in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
What is the revolution you mentioned?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
Yeah, because it was taken over by communists and they tried to build some sort of communist country or whatever, and everybody else didn't like that. But I'm a cop. Whatever it was hasn't stopped me.
Of course, sweetie. I really don't know how to explain it better.
You could tell me more.
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
She turns to the lieutenant.
No. I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Well, I have an encyclopedia in my brain.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez.
Oh, Joyce.
That's a good point. This doesn't look like Rich Central.
You seem to be in a
Yes,
chair.
dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic. is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
A grenade? Did you fight in a war?
No, dear. I'm not quite that old. Although I was injured in the line of duty.
Were you a mountaineer? A tightrope walker? I feel like I was in a war. Mountaineer.
Nothing so glamorous, dear. Though when I was young, I dreamt of planting the Revacholian flag on some figurative peak.
What did you do then?
I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail order shoe company. You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere, and, well, once I happened to be under some faulty scaffolding. I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was compensated exceptionally well. One can only dream of such payoffs nowadays.
She runs her hands over the chrome wheels of her chair. I'm sorry, it was rude of me to mention the wheelchair. Let's move on.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway.
How do you like to roll with me?
Whatever do you mean?
I want you to be my wheelchaired partner in fighting crime, ridding backyards of corpses, catching sequence killers.
Sequence killers? Oh my. But I think you already have a partner, sweetie.
We can have 2 partners.
A partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from a tree.
I know, but there are also side mysteries, sequence killers, and forays into the paranatural.
I can assure you, with absolute certainty, there are no sequence killings taking place in Martinez.
Now, gentlemen, no need to squabble. I wouldn't be of much use to you anyway, sweetie.
Why? 3 heads are better than 2. Yeah, she probably knows some different stuff than what we know.
Thank you, but Martinez isn't the most wheelchair accessible place, you see. I'd slow you down.
Can we carry you? I want you to be able to go adventuring with us too.
Perhaps another time.
She turns back to you with a hopeful glint in her eyes. Sweetie needs money. Do sweeties get money?
Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
What is a paycheck? I haven't seen any paychecks.
You must be joking. Although our pay does sometimes feel like a joke.
It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have a strong union behind you. Maybe you should talk to Everard, the union leader.
Interesting idea. This Everard sounds powerful. Maybe you can wrangle some coins out of his pocket.
I don't want to.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry I don't have money for you. If there's anything... Of course, dear.
It's cute. I like her. Okay, I want... Dishes are drying. The smell of chemicals and pine trees. An aroma of spices, alcohol, and tomato hangs in the air.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garancy and Quebec.
And I guess that's what they decided to name him then. Kim, can you speak whatever language this is?
Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Quebec. Please. It's not funny.
Hello, sir. Got time for a few questions?
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
You've got some impressive pots there.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine. Okay. So maybe we need someone who can speak the language. Wonder if Lana.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimpled lock. It's painted blue.
Touch the door.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older.
Try to push on the
The
door.
door does not budge.
I wonder where this door leads.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
Because if you haven't. Oh! Hi, Cordell. You. You do? The lieutenant regards you with patient skepticism. Well, if you haven't noticed, I tend to check everything out. I am a very curious cop, checking out everything. It might have something to do with the crime.
The winch, outside, in the backyard. Remember? No? Your fingers do.
There's a small winch outside on the roof, like that of a small elevator.
Well, if there was a winch, I suppose we could look into it. As a side investigation.
The door in the main investigation will merge into a stereo investigation.
If you say so. Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Okay, I have even more to ask him. Let's run over here. Up something? Find green ape pen. A pen with a green ape head on one end. The ape has closed its eyes, a kind of expression adorning its face. It seems to meditate. Okay.
Can I help you?
He arches an eyebrow. Is the trash container out back yours?
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Probably to keep raccoons and Kuno out of it. You know, gremlin children and gremlin animals.
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
I wonder what this feeling is.
Prod at him and find out.
Doesn't seem callous to you regarding even your leftovers from the poor?
Callous? What are you? Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism.
Voiceover said 9, but the words say 11? Nom de Nom de Plume is pen name. Nom de... name, maybe? Maybe I am Krasnogov. Yum, tell me more.
He killed himself.
Well, I guess that is more. Maybe I am.
What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container?
Whisper and point to the back of your head. What if I am?
We should return to the case of your mistaken identity at a later time, officer. This was about the trash container.
I get easily distracted, okay? We need those keys.
What for? Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container?
Yes, exactly. That is what protagonist dude is planning on doing. I wish I had a name for him. Does he eventually get a name?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
The lieutenant's voice is harsh and sudden.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
I'm never going to be done. I'm never bringing him back. I've seen something here at the Whirling Dart, a thing I need to talk about.
What thing?
There's a mysterious blue steel door in the back of the kitchen.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
He shrugs. Do you know what's behind it? Do you have...
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably.
I still want to go through it.
Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He runs his finger across the counter to check for dirt. I mean, it still would be cool.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Oh, he has been wondering about it for 10 years. I think you'd like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that.
So a sign that the mess hall is reserved for the Union.
Yes, not the whole damn Union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction.
He tosses his head in disdain.
They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
Was that pointed?
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
He gives you a meaningful nod. How do we find them? Well, I'm guessing he just said they come in here in the evening.
We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even men on strike.
You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager. Huh.
It's after 16. The sign said reserve starting 16. Why isn't anyone in the mess hall?
Good question.
He turns to the cafeteria manager.
They're probably getting drunk or protesting something somewhere. Or laying low after the, lynching.
Why is that?
They probably fucking killed that guy or something, and that's why.
I have a feeling we'll make their acquaintance sooner or later.
Yeah.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
I'm kind of figuring. It's about the money I owe.
Yes. Have you got it?
I'll
A
show
lot.
you again.
A lot. For the room, drinks, like what?
Okay. I still need to get my
Hey,
look around.
hey, you.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
Again?
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too?
Can't argue with that.
So, what about all that communism you've promised to build? Word on the street is you've woken up from 1,000 years of slumber. promising to erect a version of communism many times greater than any attempted before. Is
How
that
come-
true?
How come there's word on the street?
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
No, I don't think I've said quite that much. Especially like the whole impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket because I need 130 to sleep tonight. I've said some mildly left-wing things, but none of those.
Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that would devour and masticate mankind.
That sounds fun.
Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
Of course I do. I always have questions. Wait, first, what is this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
That's not what I was expecting. Failure?
Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world.
I'm not sure about that.
You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother.
What? And the love of your own mother. That seems kind of out of nowhere, but okay.
You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist.
Okay.
Now get to work, comrade.
Roll up your sleeves and start building communism.
Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.
Wait, what? Firing squads? You didn't say anything about those.
Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few million eggs.
Roll your sleeves up further and breathe in the pristine air. Finish thought. The Zophian socioeconomics. Okay, so when I'm researching that though, it's negative visual calculus, which is gonna suck. Hope I have a home by the time, like, the day ends. Whenever that is. Okay. But can I go back? I know it says reserved, but like that's been keeping me out of things, you know?
The worker is in a deep slumber.
Wake him up.
There is only one way to wake this bone idol from his slumber. Roar like a hurricane. Rip the buildings from the earth.
Wake up, this is an order, I am the law. No words, just a primordial scream.
Why the yelling man?
30-something man slowly lifts his head and gives you a pensive look.
Looks like a Sow descendant. A lot of Sow dock workers around.
You're alive? You looked out for the long count there.
Wait, what? No, he was just sleeping. What do you want, officer?
See anything interesting in your dreams?
Thank God, no.
Was it a fathomless darkness into which we ought to be deferred like corpses in a mausoleum? Was it pure nothing, your consciousness no longer larger than a single grain of malt? Tell me, was it a bliss free of X somethings? You're right, let's talk about something else. It's a fathomless darkness.
The worker stares at you, his eyes dry from sleep. A web of wrinkles covers his tanned forehead.
I don't know what you're talking about, kind sir, but when I'm out, then I'm really out. No corpses, no mausoleums, just quality time.
Tell me about Wild Pine.
That's the name of my employer. I work in logistics.
How's that going?
How's it going?
Dock worker lets out a big yawn, then stares at the cafeteria's terrace door. Some fingerprints glisten on the glass.
Haven't you noticed what's going on outside?
Of course, it's a total madhouse.
Good. Then you understand the gist of it. We would all be better off without the employers and their employment. For one, I can get some goddamn shut-eye. Right to sleep, I say.
Why are you sleeping here while the others are out striking?
They got it. Majoret's got it. He's guarding the gate. I'm just getting some sleep. Or was.
Who's behind organizing the strike?
We are. The workers. The union. We know what we need. What's right for us.
You mean there's no leader?
Okay. I guess there's also Everard. He's in charge of the union. He's smart. Knows how to negotiate. He's got our back.
What about the dead body in the yard?
Yeah. What about it?
You seem cool with it. Do you have many of those hanging from trees here?
You know, people die here every day. Someone's found in a ditch, another one falls in a manhole, a third one gets eaten by stray dogs.
Who spises?
If someone has decided to die on top of a tree, then how is it my concern?
Someone has to look into it. Looks like I'm that someone. Tell me what you know.
I can tell you this. Trouble's ahead.
What trouble?
You heard what I said. Draw your own conclusions. That's all I know, and I prefer to keep it this way.
The lieutenant gives you a little nod, then makes a note in his blue notebook.
Yours? Point at the bottle in the spilt.
Indeed. Help yourself to some. Wait. No. Oh, it's empty. Sorry about that, pal.
I already had some, it's fine.
Knocks you right out when you drown a bottle or two.
He rubs his face, then buries it in his hands. You can hear a faint snore. Alright, I'll let you
The
sleep.
dock worker doesn't answer. His head is already back down on the table, in sweet sleep.
Okay, next I think I want to talk to the gardener. When does the day end? When do I need to have either the money or like know where I'm sleeping tonight? Can I sleep in the lieutenant's car? Wait, where's he sleeping tonight? Can I go sleep over with him? An option?
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Tell me, what exactly have you been doing in your greenhouse in March?
Well, this might be the last snow we get. At least I hope so. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me.
He smiles shyly.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Squint your eyes and look at her intently. Snow shouldn't have any more nutrients than rainwater.
All you can see is the fact that her skin is a different color from yours. That's literally all. You're gonna have to run with that.
Oh my goodness. I don't have any other options. Okay. You're black.
What does that mean?
She doesn't flinch. So what kind of music do you listen to nowadays?
I don't know. Whatever's on the radio, I guess. What does this have to do with snow or gardening in March?
You listen to disco. I like disco. I want to talk to everybody about disco, I guess.
I'm gonna say no.
We should probably proceed with our business in Martinez. Unless you have more official questions?
I have to run. Okay, that's at 22.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Show her the picture?
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man. From the right shoulder to the solar plexus. It almost looks like the electronic patterns inside a radio computer or an old filament memory.
Okay, I thought I was gonna be able to. So, oh, actually, I'm gonna pause the game real quick because, I think my cookies are ready to be packed away because I think they were cooling. So, just a moment. We'll be right back. Okay, back. Put the cookies away. Can confirm the cookies taste good. So, yeah, in case you were wondering. I think I need to take down the body. And oh yeah, I wanted to see if here. Actually, oh, maybe that's the winch and steel blue door. Okay.
The man before you
Figure out how
is
to take
naked,
down-
but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. On his chest, a fading web of tattoos. The cargo belt used to hang him from the tree looks reinforced.
Yep, the preliminary
The
examination.
steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
It's interesting. It like explains sarcasm for people, which I guess is fair. Don't mind the random noises from behind me. The rats are apparently having a fun redecoration party.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Can't someone else do it? We could saw the branch. Seems like a lot of hassle. Let's not do it. Maybe we could shoot him down. Maybe we can ask for help from the Harper. I'm out of ideas. Let's have another look at him. We could saw
Climb
the
up
branch.
there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Can't someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
Yeah, exactly.
What was that about processing, then? Weren't they supposed to take care of the boots? Why don't they help?
Can't the boys from processing take care of
No.
this? Why?
Think of the boys from processing as murderers. Only instead of people, they murder crime scenes. Processing is a wrecking crew. They know how to commission off items and how to work the incinerator in the morgue. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
Seems like a lot of hassle. Let's not do it.
We are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task that's already accomplished. Sadly, it's not our job to keep him up there, but to get him down.
I don't really want to pull his head off.
How do you plan to get him down, then? With social sensibility? Are you going to educate him down?
Maybe we could shoot him down?
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
Well, somebody likes that idea.
How?
The lieutenant remains unaffected.
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
There, the buckle holds the belt together.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
Great, we're entertaining the children.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
I actually don't. It has bad idea written all over it.
What else can we do?
Maybe we could ask for help from the harbor?
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appear to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
Yeah.
I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda.
Yeah, wait, let's reconsider.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Let's try to shoot
He
him down.
breathes out heavily.
Oh yeah, do this shit! Fuck it up!
I'm not really good at this, but wait, let me try.
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
Say nothing, let him choose.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Say nothing.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
"A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's test was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight."
Do it?
Fucking idiot! Mookabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
It's okay.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Cloud.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Try again, maybe?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
I should have done a...
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
I want to try to shoot him down.
It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks here. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't hit the victim.
I'm gonna need your gun for this.
They only have one gun!
Oops.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Officer, why do we only have one gun?
He asked, carefully loading his pistol. Remember when I told you I didn't have my badge or my uniform with me when I woke up? I didn't have my gun either.
That is even more unfortunate than the badge. You need to contact your station about it as soon as possible. Try not to lose this one, please.
Take the gun.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
That... I don't even know what that curse word's supposed to be. Feel the weight
The
first.
cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger. You've held this, an A9 Armistice, before. At some point, it probably used to be your choice of firearm. It still feels comfortable, like you never laid it down.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
Point the gun at the belt.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Oh, I'm 10 points away from leveling up. Close your left eye first.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching the noon light as the corpse slowly rotates. The slow movement of the branch in the wind and your shoulders directing the gun sync up, dancing hypnotically.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
Oops.
A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. Your hand goes numb from the explosion. With your ears still ringing, you lower the weapon to see what happened. You missed the belt, but hit the corpse straight in the chest. Bits of ribcage protrude from...
How far back was it? Can I... How terrible would it be? Might save Scummit. What's this? I think I went back too far.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material eaten.
Try that again. I want to get it. I don't know why I want to get it so much, but... Okay. Oh, since I went back anyway, I think... deciding to take the corpse down gave me 70 experience. So if I get 10 more, I can also, get an experience point.
Hello again, officer.
Get a thing
How are
so
things?
that 10 more XP so I can level up and get another point in order to get it down.
Well, this snow has nutrients in it.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow. Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see? That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbor gates. This is a great vantage point for keeping an eye on you.
Are you by any chance keeping an eye on us?
No, of course not. I don't understand what this is about.
She looks towards the yard and her expression clears.
The kid did this, right? The red-haired rat? Can't say a sentence without or kipped. He's always giving me trouble.
I was talking to him, yes.
Maybe you shouldn't be. I mean, you do your job, but that kid is beyond help. And he certainly won't help you.
She shakes her head.
You've been resting here for quite a while, haven't you?
The lieutenant intervenes, looking at her intently.
Yes, I'm tired.
I understand. The RCM isn't welcome here, and the locals want to keep an eye on us.
There's silence, the smallest of smiles.
That's okay, miss. Do what you have to do. I think we're done here. Let's go.
Should be... And...
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. It almost looks like the electronic patterns inside a radio computer or an old filament memory, but not quite.
Who are you?
Gone.
What is the meaning of this tattoo?
For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
History. Can I show it to Gillard?
Hello
now?
again, officer.
I show this to people. Probably want to go see the Ole guys. Ancient fountain. It doesn't pump water anymore. There's a tree in it. Oh, I didn't expect to be able to come in here.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
The man at the counter turns to you slowly. Oh no, is my gun here?
What can I do for you?
Now that the RCM is here, tell me, have you had any trouble lately?
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
No, I'd quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
His attention is drawn once more to the play of light and shadow on the walls behind
He's
you.
well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe.
White check so I can retry it, so sure. Roy high, and if yes, what is he high on?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard, he's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Right, hold it on. What is that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I love the little exclamation point. Is it just me, or is it really warm in here? Sir, could you take off your sunglasses? I'd like to check your eyes. Yeah, where does a man get psychorodon these days?
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
I don't want drugs.
I'm not offended, officer.
Let's see what. Mostly military wear with a few more eclectic fashions thrown in. Centric fashions thrown in. Bust of a woman, the plaque simply says still. Dark film projector is wearing away. Some type of machine, an antique cash register. I wanna know if my gun's here.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Stand on the tips of your toes to see more.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Really need anything right now.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Let your gaze run over the street light.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Do I even have a living room? I think I'm still figuring that out. 47 minutes left. Is that a street light?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
Where did you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property.
He leans in so this pawnbroker doesn't hear him.
You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
He pauses, studying the light. How much for the street light?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Are you out of your mind? There's one just like that on every corner. Even taking into account the risk of obtaining the light, that seems a bit steep. 700 sounds about right. I imagine it wasn't easy sawing off that street lamp.
There's also the matter of rewiring, but the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Okay, maybe in addition to... I want to play through this at least 3 times with the 3, like, pre-selected routes. The, Thinker, the, Psych, and the Physique routes. I'm not sure if there's, like, maybe the Motorist route, but, like, I feel like that one is kind of your sub for a lot of things. And then maybe I want to do another playthrough that's just like sheeted with like full stats and like a ton of money so I can buy a street light. Because I wonder, like, I don't think normally you come across that kind of money.
Hello again. How can I help you? I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
He doesn't know anything.
Actually, that's all I've got.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Something I'd like to sell?
Let me have a look.
Show him the photo?
Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale.
He barely even looks at it. Do you know what the tattoos mean? Exactly, that's what I was meaning. But I was also kind of curious how much she would spend on a photo of a dead body, too. Do you know what the tattoos mean?
Aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I know. Sell me something lighter.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but the tattoos on the man are not that.
I'll check my pockets.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Sell the Lieutenant tanker ship? Okay, no.
Another time, perhaps.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty.
Inspect the knights on horseback.
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Point at the knights on horseback. These are Franco-Nigerian cavalry, right?
I used to be very serious about my Franco-Nigerian knights.
He looks at the dusty figurines in the dim light. Inspect the blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Wait, this looks like Rene, the old guy who was playing Kentucky.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
Point at the blue figurines. Are these royalist soldiers?
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
Inspect the figurines and rags.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
These even soldiers? Probably civilians that have had to fight.
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
It's meant to give people hope. Even we can do it. The contrast is meant to be disheartening, as it ought to be. It's impossible to win against the cohorts of capital. Ask my friend Gart, who's... he made me. I wish it was more nuanced. As it stands, I cannot comment. It's meant to give people hope. Even we can do it.
Maybe.
Dig up a truly cool figurine in the box under the table.
Everything you pick out seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. Most of them are just broken toys.
Step away from the table. Okay. I didn't even realize that was... Okay. Oh, yes. Fingerless gloves. Chemistry. Gasoline-stained fingerless gloves in navy blue. They have been worn threadbare, but they're being made of wool still provide some warmth and comfort. Cigarette-stained fingertips. I thought chemistry was like the drugs and stuff. Go to Party Planet, love and be loved by drugs. Yeah, I'm okay with passing for that. I'm gonna do a playthrough like that eventually, but I'm not too worried. Water lock out of order until Wednesday, 7:15 a.m.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
G'day to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them.
First things first, what are you doing here, man on the waterlock?
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami.
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer?
The man on the waterlock, picks the skin off a slice of salami and takes a sizable bite. Do you know what caused this wreckage? Point at the smashed billboard in the canal.
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
Do you know what's further down the coast?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it.
He thinks for a moment. I want to go to the church. Wasn't the song you were singing about a little church? Maybe, oh yeah, that's right. I need a copy of that song in order to sing karaoke with it.
Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Food.
Sure thing.
He cuts off a slice of salami.
It is salty. It is savory. It is chewy. The hangover only makes the salami more tasty.
Want some too, officer?
He turns to the lieutenant.
Why not?
The lieutenant ponders the office for a moment, then decides to go for it. He takes a slice of salami from the man and chews on it. Right, bye. Food. Oh yeah, I was coming this direction to ask if I was just in the uniforms.
We are still waiting for a replacement for the bull you sent sinking.
I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat arse of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
Rude.
Honey, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
Tell me, what do you know about the dead man?
Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
Come on, you must have heard something.
No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are both good guys. I can see that.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
He means caviar socialists.
Which are?
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
Sounds a bit like you're holding back.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard.
How do you know Evrard?
Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. There he stands, proud rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Are you a union member?
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me.
In many ways?
Oh, yes.
So you're not a natural member?
Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll, just for the little things.
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union, and now the illusion is disintegrating before your and Renee's eyes. He doesn't know anything, because no one tells him anything. He's an outsider.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservein. Turns the way the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate the socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
Those who stand for nothing will fall for anything. What are the little things you do for Everett?
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say.
What kind of things do you write for him?
Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evrard and I had these long talks where...
Well, he tells his little penman exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Are you a caviar socialist?
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer.
Wait, how can you write those newspaper pieces if you're not political? So you are a weather vane? But you need to believe in something. Freedom, the people, Revachol, even money. That's smart. I keep my nose clean too. So you are a weather vane.
I prefer highly adaptable myself. Have a better ring to hit, don't you think?
Mon Dieu.
The cabineer closes his eyes like he's never going to open them again. Thanks, that's all for now.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
Bye for now. I wanted to ask them about the tattoos, because they're, like, they know about history. Okay, what else is there to look around over here? I should probably go back to trying to shoot down the dead body. Longer on.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. On his chest, a fading web of tattoos. The cargo belt used to hang him from the tree looks reinforced.
Yep, the preliminary examination is done. Let's get him down from there.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Ready, aim, and fire. Can't someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
What was that about processing, then? Weren't they supposed to take care of the boots? Why don't they help?
Yes, exactly. Call the police.
Someone already did. You know who came? We did. Because we have made bad life decisions.
We have made bad life decisions.
I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
You could saw the
Climb
branch.
up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Seems like a lot of hassle. Let's not do it.
We are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task that's already accomplished. Sadly, it's not our job to keep him up there, but to get him down.
I don't really want to pull his head off.
How do you plan to get him down, then? With social sensibility? Are you going to educate him down?
Maybe we could shoot him down?
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
There, the buckle holds the belt together.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Wait, let me try.
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
Say nothing, let him shoot.
Silence. With his elbow sharp and produces a lightweight firearm, he drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's test was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight.
Fucking idiot! Mookabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he? Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Cloud.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that. I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks here. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't hit the victim.
They only have one gun!
Oops.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Officer, Why do we only have one gun?
Yes, carefully loading his pistole. Remember when I told you I didn't have my badge or uniform with me when I woke up? I didn't have my gun either.
That is even more unfortunate than the badge. You need to contact your station about it as soon as possible. Try not to lose this one, please.
Take the gun.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
Feel the weight first.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger. You've held this, an A9 Armistice, before. At some point, it probably used to be your choice of firearm. It still feels comfortable, like you never laid it down.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
You left eye.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching the evening light as the corpse slowly rotates. The slow movement of the branch in the wind and your shoulders directing the gun sink up, dancing hypnotically.
Look, he's crying! You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
Already saved scum once for this, might as well do it again.
The man before you is...
The steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't act...
The cadaver is a good 1 point. Someone else?
What was that about, process?
No. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have...
Yeah!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch.
Where?
Yeah! They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
But what else can we do?
He breathed.
Oh yeah, do this shit! Fuck it up!
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He
I'll blow his head off.
Take it!
Yeah, take...
silence and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it. That's a key. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's test position, taking aim. The corner. The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes.
God damn it.
A lot of...
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno...
I have to say...
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
It's bad as it is.
Oops.
This is the...
Officer, why that is even...
Yeah, take it, you fucking...
The cold you've held.
The fuck are you...
The buckle.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your...
Your feet. The slow move.
Look, he's crying! You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
A plume of smoke erupts.
I may not be able to save scum this, even though I have a high chance. I'm not sure why. Unless they set up so you can't save scum.
The man before you is naked.
The steel...
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying.
The cadaver is... We are not getting him...
How do you plan to get him down then?
Yeah!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to...
Where?
Yeah!
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in silence and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it. That's a key. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's test position, taking aim. The corner. The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast.
God damn it.
A lot of things.
Fucking idiot!
Kuno could have hit it easy,
I have to say,
You know, you don't feel like...
it's bad that...
Oops.
This is.
Officer, why do we only... That is even...
You fucking.
The cold you've held.
Fuck are you?
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your.
You'll feel the slow...
Look, he's crying. Or what? You gonna fuck me? You wanna fuck me, pig? Is that what this is about? Do it! Set me free!
Don't.
Do it!
Intense shit, copper.
Fucker waved his gun! It wasn't intense, it was pathetic!
A plume... The man before you is naked, but he doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up.
Yeah!
How?
With a buckle tied,
Where?
Yeah! They'll miss! The pigs will miss.
the lieutenant's brow is furrowed, silenced, and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. Secure that's a key. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk. The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as...
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot.
Kuno could have hit it easy.
I have to say,
You know, you don't feel...
it's bad that...
Oops.
This is the.
Officer, that is even...
The cold you've held.
The fuck are you waiting?
The buckle.
Why don't you just shoot yourself?
You'll feel the slow...
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking fatty?
Oh, finally. First
The
time.
buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Who killed you?
Communism.
Okay.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right. Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
Finally. You've been policed.
Aces high.
The lieutenant raises his right hand, waiting for you to slap.
The ace is high, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution, is used to celebrate success in Revachol, especially in sports. The gesture is spread across the world, despite the defeat of the revolutionaries themselves. You could add an aces low to it, if you like, by turning your back after the high and waiting for another.
Slap it and wait for an aces low.
The high arrives with a sharp slap. As you turn around, there is a moment of doubt. Feels like that low ain't gonna connect. Chill. It's gonna connect. But then it does, and with furious precision. The lieutenant is not one to leave an Aces Low hanging.
Yay.
I knew these guys were
It's best to just ignore him. What now?
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me.
He needs to turn away from the corpse.
Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells. The fall seems to have released something deep inside it.
Ew.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy.
Wait, field autopsy?
Yes. The 4 phases of a murder scene. 1. Investigation of the scene. I can't say I'm satisfied with that part yet. I still want to know what's in that trash container.
He points to it. That's right, I have the key.
2. Initial examination of the victim. We were exhaustive in our efforts there. Good job. 3. Field autopsy. This will not be pleasant or easy, and it will have to be performed on the scene.
The fuck are they on about?
Cops are gonna cut his shit up next.
4 and final, transport of the coroner's case to the district morgue. I'll do that. God, this stinks.
Don't we have someone else for the autopsy, like a doctor?
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From crime scene to autopsy to cleanup, we do it all.
Honorary rank?
An honor and a burden attached to your rank. Mine is Lieutenant Detective, unfortunately. I can't tell you how tired I am of this corpse.
I don't think I'm a detective.
With shooting like that? Of course you are. Your station would not have assigned you to this case otherwise.
All right, give him back his
In the
gun.
meantime, we should try to interview Evrard Clare, the leader of the Union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging. The harbor just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge, though. I would also suggest we interview Joyce, the Wild Pines representative. But we've already done that, so good for us. 1 down, 1 to go.
Is this the famous list of initial interviews?
Yes. And those were the interviewees. Let's go.
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
Wait, I thought we were gonna have a place to sleep? The Interlarian Civil War was not the first war to see the use of hybrid airships on both sides, but it was the coolest. For an entire decade, folded multi-rotor fighters got into dogfights above Revachol, Ozon, Semenine, and the Arcade Islands, spitting death at one another. They flew over sandy beaches and shot each other out of the azure sky, crashing into city blocks and setting island forests ablaze. The Aces Low was a custom among revolutionary brigades, Formed after multiple kills. Lieutenant Kitsuragi seems fond of it. Why? 3+ empathy towards Kim Kitsuragi. I think I'll do that tomorrow. 15th Indo Tribe. Not sure I'm super fond of the -2 visual calculus, but let's...
This trash container is...
No, I guess I could talk to her from the front.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think.
Take one step closer.
Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
Oh, if she'd leave, that'd be nice. I just want to ask you some questions. Take another step closer.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
Did you go away, like, in real life?
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Child, converse with me.
Murder was the case they gave me.
She has almost vanished beyond this fence. Only the top of her hat remains.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Listen, child, that corpse made me puke twice, and I was wondering why you don't.
Stay away from me, pig. I'll die before I squeal, pig.
What strange words you use, girl.
I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing her. Get the fuck out of here.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
You
don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody. I'm not here, pig. You're not seeing this.
You can still see the top of her hat from behind the fence.
Okay. Let's get the trash.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags." This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags."
And the padlock with the key.
With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
What do I... Island Empire is... Hunches and gut feelings, dreams and waking life. I mean, can it really be that much worse than the dead body?
Just a feeling. A warning from some part of you.
Open the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Ew. Under the boxes of carton.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar.
Do I dumpster dive often?
You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
Used to what? Dumpster diving?
No, searching for evidence in the trash.
Dive further.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Pick at the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Can I equip them? Grab them.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
Oh, are they what he was wearing?
Are these the victim's clothes? The smell is not nearly as bad as the cadaver. These clothes could not have been in contact with the deceased for more than 2 days after his death.
You can see the little flies.
Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer.
The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. By early stages, you mean these were taken from him no more than 2 days after his death?
Yes, if we're still assuming the clothes were taken off to get to the armor, they must have stripped him of it fast, the scavengers, in a matter of days.
Bag the trousers.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too, a white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
He looks into the container.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
I guess. Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Bag the shirt.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
He nods himself.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that,
Thrown out towel, a mug, that's all.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
You think someone from the whirling might have been involved, maybe?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Yeah, we need to ask the kids who put them there.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Search the food waste.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands.
Ew.
Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, what's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Take it out.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Moist. Great.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
No, it can't be.
Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form.
A miserable looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
Must have thrown it away. I think I didn't want to be a cop anymore, so I threw it away.
Well,
He doesn't know what to say.
lucky we found it. You should take stock of what remains, just to be sure some has not made it into the hands of the RCM's adversaries. Organized crime and the like. There might have been police secrets in your notes.
Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
The mug. I'm getting that mug too.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron,
An antique?
only in its social sensibility.
Take the mug. I don't know why I need the mug, but it was an option.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Yellow Man mug. This broken-eared mug somehow made its way into the whirling in rags dumpster. It depicts a person of Sumerian descent frolicking in a field of saffron flowers, buck-toothed and grinning feeble-mindedly. It seems to be a cheap knockoff of some colonial-era antique.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Look at all that content.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
This mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do. I'm going to push this into the face of every merchant I find and tell them this is your insane ideology. The mug will be useful. By denouncing it, I can earn political capital to mask my bad hustling, i.e. fraud and embezzlement. The mug didn't belong in the trash. It was just a funny mug. Can't anyone laugh anymore? This mug is an example of prejudice.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish your case, detective.
Give me the option. If you give me the option to pick a mug out of the trash, I'm gonna pick the mug out of the trash. That doesn't mean that's what I should be doing. It's just what I'm gonna do.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you.
Inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper, sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your finger across the aluminum.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned? Point to the sticker.
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
Why? Like, I would think that knowing your address would be pretty good since he doesn't apparently know where he lives. How can I read it? Well, sounds like the headlights.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
You mentioned the headlights of your Kimo?
Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Look at the clipboard. board.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see the embossed letters, RCM.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside, light, made of paper or cardboard, or dried flowers perhaps. Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it.
You know, like being thrown away.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
How would I open it?
With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Interesting. -1 for lonesome long way home. Smell the ledger.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axle, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet.
Which toilet would that be?
Remember when I said the smell of the upstairs bathroom was so rank they should have sent a poet to describe it?
Sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner, a line this poem might have used.
Why, yes it is. Among many other things. This cleaning tablet is used by the whirling in rags. Perhaps that's where the ledger was dropped in the toilet. By you.
Browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all?
That's it.
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
He raises both eyebrows. I burned out all right.
That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There was mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, Most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh mine, they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
Or?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
My cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one, with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one The Man with the Hole in His Head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
He smiles. What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Commit to paper using the pen Lena gave you. Oh, yay! I get to use the pen.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion.
Is he Harry? Harry's come up twice. The dead body called me Harry. And now interfacing. Should I know my name by this point in the game? Do I have a last name?
Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the Citizens Militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Wait, wouldn't this notebook have my name in it somewhere? How do I still not know my name? Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
I'm done inspecting these. Close the case
You
files.
don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Browse the yellow papers.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Well, great that I found a field autopsy form, since I'm gonna have to do the field autopsy soon. So looking forward to doing the field autopsy of the 7-day decayed, rotting body.
You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct fine.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
And I give somebody a fine for 130 real so that I have somewhere to stay tonight?
But they appear pleasantly vague.
Station call.
These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute.
Field autopsy.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Enough of these.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
I'm gonna leave those for now. Okay, so something I was supposed to post.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Talk to the gardener. She said not to listen to you.
Pig, do you have any idea how fucking stupid that sounds? Kuno's cruising his bitch on the town, and the bitch comes back griefing to the Kuno. What is up with that?
Get the fuck out of here, fat ass! Those pants are too small for you.
The pants are totally okay. Don't listen to her. She's trying to give you body image problems.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it?
The dead man's clothes were in the trash container. Point to the container. How did they get there?
Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno.
I need to know. It could be a lead in the investigation. Someone may have tampered with the evidence scene.
Listen! Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
You'd have to be blind not to notice the giant white letters F-A-L-N running down his trouser leg.
Wait, I asked you what happened to his clothes. You must have seen them lying around. All right, entertain me. What's so great about these pants? No, Kuno, you don't know anything about the tampering investigation, and I already have pants. Wait, I asked you what happened to his clothes.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that there. Now you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Okay, I don't do these things because I think they'll be helpful. I do these things because it's an option, and I want to see what happens if I ask Kuno. I mean, admittedly, like, yeah, okay, I wasn't expecting much, but look, I get to find out about these pants.
Pig, these are found modulars, liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Made in Mirova by scientists. Pants scientists.
See, I get to learn about pants scientists.
Believe it, you need this shit.
He unzips his jacket to give you a quick peek at the plastic-wrapped pants. They They're graphite black and look brand new.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness. Coach Physical Instrument endorses these pants. They are tartan ready. They will also make you into an idiot.
So maybe a future playthrough. I might be interested in the pants. Let's talk about this later.
All right, Pico. Shit's rolling.
His face lights up.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno. He's gonna steal all your money, Kuno.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust.
There's also a mug in the trash. Show him the mug. Why?
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again?
Yes, does this racist mug have anything to do with it?
Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker? Cause he's the clothes fucker?
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Kuno. Someone has tampered with the crime scene, cleaned some of it up.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator.
He nods in approval.
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious. He likes putting 2 and 2 together here.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
He lets out a hiss, even meaner than before.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't...
An inconspicuous pile of the roof.
Hope this flashlight doesn't run out of batteries.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. The belt is still around his neck. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
I love encyclopedia. Why don't you know? What use are you?
You must have me confused with the Copperpedia.
I do need a Copperpedia.
You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
I hope we do. It's getting really late for an autopsy.
Okay. I've been going for, oh geez, like 3 hours here. So, unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to call it a day on that one. And we'll have to get back to that another time. hopefully I'll be able to get back to this before next weekend. This game requires a little bit more attention and investment than some other games, so it's a little bit harder to do during the week when I'm kind of like tired from work and stuff. But so who knows? Might be able to get an hour here or there, but otherwise it's probably back to doing on the weekend. So, but enjoying this game so far. Excited for next time when we do the field autopsy. That's exactly what I want to do. This autopsy a body that's been rotting for a week. I'm sure tons of interesting stuff's gonna come out of that. And also take the dude's boots because I do still want the boots, even though it has been on a rotting corpse for a week. But anyway, see you later.